Every great achievement begins with a simple decision. The decision to take action instead of pointing fingers. Life is not about finding someone to blame for what went wrong. It's about finding the courage to make things right. When we blame others, we hand over our power. But when we act, we take that power back. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent, luck, or background. It's the ability to choose action over excuses. When we fall into the habit of blaming others, we unknowingly give away our own strength. Blame may feel like relief in the moment. It shifts the discomfort of failure or frustration onto someone else, but in doing so, it removes our control over the situation. The more we focus on who is at fault, the less energy we have to create solutions. Blame traps us in a loop of negativity, where we justify our inaction and convince ourselves that progress is impossible until someone else changes. This mindset weakens us because it assumes that our future depends on others rather than ourselves. Taking action, on the other hand, restores our power. When we stop pointing fingers and start looking within, we realize that we hold the ability to make change happen. Action transforms frustration into movement. It shifts us from being victims of our circumstances to creators of our own destiny. Every small step we take towards solving a problem gives us momentum and confidence. Even when the results aren't perfect, the simple act of doing something builds resilience and self-belief. Action tells the world, and more importantly ourselves, that we refuse to be powerless. Blame is like standing in the rain and cursing the clouds, while action is building a shelter to stay dry. It's the difference between complaining about the storm and learning how to dance in it. When we act, we learn. When we blame, we stagnate. Those who take responsibility grow stronger with each challenge, while those who blame remain stuck in the same patterns. Life rewards movement, not excuses. The moment we take even one step forward, we start regaining control of our direction, our mindset, and our future. Choosing action over blame is not about denying mistakes. It's about owning them and using them as fuel for growth. Every time we take action instead of assigning fault, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of shaping outcomes. That shift in thinking changes everything. It creates a mindset of accountability, discipline, and empowerment. When we act, we move closer to success. When we blame, we drift further away from it. Power doesn't lie in finding someone to fault. It lies in finding the courage to begin again. Excuses are comfort zones disguised as reasons. They make us feel temporarily safe, protecting us from the fear of failure or judgment. But in reality, excuses are invisible walls that keep us trapped in the same place. When we tell ourselves stories like, "I'm not ready," "I don't have enough time," or "it's too late," we justify inaction. Excuses give us permission to stay still, even when we know we are capable of more. They rob us of opportunities and delay our potential. Every time we make an excuse, we trade progress for comfort. And that comfort eventually becomes regret. Results come only from consistent effort, not perfect circumstances. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who took action despite the odds. They understood that excuses won't pay bills, build dreams, or change lives. Taking action, even imperfectly, moves you forward, while waiting for the right time keeps you stuck. Progress doesn't happen by chance. It happens through daily commitment. Each small, disciplined action compounds into success, while excuses quietly steal the time you can never get back. When we eliminate excuses, we unlock our true potential. The moment we stop saying "I can't" and start asking "how can I," our mindset changes completely. We shift from limitation to possibility. Excuses fade when purpose grows stronger than fear. Action requires courage, but it also rewards us with clarity and growth. Every step forward, no matter how uncertain, builds the momentum that excuses can never create. Each action becomes proof that you are capable of change, that you can shape your life through determination rather than hesitation. Excuses may seem harmless, but they are the silent killers of dreams. They give you a false sense of security while time slips away unnoticed. The truth is, results demand responsibility. They require persistence, sacrifice, and self-belief. Success is never built on just words, it's built on work. Those who stop making excuses discover that progress was always within their reach. It only waited for them to decide. Once you stop explaining why something can be done and start finding ways to make it happen, the impossible slowly begins to turn into reality. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a form of power. The moment you decide to take full ownership of your actions, choices, and outcomes, you unlock the door to true freedom. Many people see responsibility as something heavy, something that ties them down or limits their comfort, but in truth, it's the opposite. When you take responsibility, you free yourself from the grip of excuses, blame, and helplessness. You begin to realize that your life is not controlled by circumstances, but by how you respond to them. Every decision you make is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. When we refuse to take responsibility, we give control to others. Our failures become someone else's fault, and our progress becomes someone else's job. That mindset keeps us dependent and powerless. But when we own our life completely, we begin to see challenges differently. Instead of waiting for things to change, we become the ones who create change. Responsibility brings clarity. It helps us see that growth is not something that happens to us. It's something we make happen. It's a choice to rise above excuses and take the driver's seat in our own journey. Accepting responsibility doesn't mean life will be easy. In fact, it often means facing difficult truths about ourselves, our habits, our mindset, and our past decisions. But it's through that honesty that transformation begins. Taking responsibility gives us the courage to improve what we can and accept what we can't. It builds resilience, discipline, and character. When you understand that your success and happiness depend on you, you stop waiting for others to save you. You start making deliberate moves toward the life you want, step by step, day by day. Responsibility leads to freedom because it puts you in control. You are no longer chained by the opinions of others or the weight of external blame. You realize that you hold the power to respond to any situation with strength, wisdom, and purpose. Freedom is not about escaping responsibility, it's about embracing it. When you fully own your life, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the creator of your destiny. Responsibility is not a punishment. It's the highest form of self-respect, the foundation of confidence, and the true path to lasting success. Every problem we face has two sides, one that blocks us and one that builds us. Most people stop at the surface, focusing only on what went wrong, who caused it, or how unfair it feels. But those who choose to act instead of complain discover the other side, the opportunity hidden within the struggle. Action transforms problems into stepping stones. When you take initiative, you shift your focus from the pain of the situation to the possibility of progress. You begin to see every challenge not as an obstacle, but as a test of creativity, patience, and strength. When we act on our problems, we start learning. Every effort reveals a new lesson. Every mistake offers direction, and every setback builds resilience. Problems that once seemed overwhelming start to shrink as we move closer to solving them. Taking action gives us momentum, and momentum changes everything. It turns fear into focus and confusion into clarity. Instead of being stuck in the question, why me, we start asking, what can I do next? That single shift in mindset changes the entire outcome, because solutions are always found by those who move, not those who wait. It's important to remember that no great invention, discovery, or success story came from people who avoided problems. The greatest minds and leaders in history were those who took massive action when things fell apart. They understood that adversity was a teacher, not an enemy. Every time we take a step towards solving a problem, we expand our capacity to handle life. We grow wiser, stronger, and more capable. Problems are not the end of the path. They are the beginning of progress. They force us to adapt, innovate, and evolve into better versions of ourselves. Action is the bridge that connects struggle to success. It takes courage to act when things are uncertain, but that courage is what reveals the opportunities hidden inside difficulties. When you stop fearing problems and start responding to them with energy and purpose, you turn challenges into victories. Every action you take toward a solution makes you more confident and capable. Life will always present problems, but it's your choice whether to be defeated by them or transformed through them. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation of it. Every successful person you admire has faced countless failures along the way. What sets them apart is not that they never fell, but that they refuse to stay down. Failure teaches lessons that success never can. It humbles us, refines our approach, and builds mental toughness. When we fail, we learn what doesn't work, which brings us one step closer to what does. It's through these moments of trial that we develop resilience, creativity, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. The path to achievement is never straight. It's filled with obstacles that test our determination to keep going. The fear of failure stops more people than failure itself. Many never take the first step because they're terrified of making mistakes or being judged. But avoiding failure only leads to regret. When we choose action, we must accept that failure will visit us, not as an enemy but as a teacher. Every time we fall short, we gain valuable insight that prepares us for future success. Those who are brave enough to fail are the ones who eventually rise higher than they ever imagined. Failure is the price of growth. It's the proof that you're trying, learning, and moving forward. Failure also builds emotional strength and self-belief. When you endure setbacks and still keep pushing forward, you develop a mindset that can't be shaken easily. You learn that rejection doesn't define you, and mistakes don't mean defeat. Instead, they mold you into someone wiser and more capable. Success that comes without struggle often fades quickly, but success built on failure lasts because it's rooted in perseverance and understanding. Every failure carries a hidden lesson that shapes your character and equips you for greater challenges ahead. The truth is, failure is inevitable if you aim for something meaningful. But it's also the most powerful tool for growth when faced with courage and reflection. Each setback provides feedback that guides your next move, helping you adapt and improve. When you embrace failure as part of the journey, you remove its power to discourage you. You stop seeing it as a reason to quit and start viewing it as a stepping stone toward mastery. The people who achieve greatness aren't those who never fail. They are the ones who learn, adjust, and keep moving forward despite the pain. True leadership begins with responsibility and courage. The courage to act even when the path ahead is uncertain. Leaders are not defined by their titles or positions. They are defined by their choices. When faced with challenges, they don't waste energy blaming others or waiting for someone else to fix the problem. Instead, they take initiative. They understand that real progress happens when someone is willing to step forward, make decisions, and take risks. Leadership is about action. It's about seeing what needs to be done and doing it, even when it's uncomfortable. Followers, on the other hand, often choose the easier path of criticism and excuses, pointing out flaws rather than finding solutions. Leaders take ownership of both success and failure. When things go wrong, they don't hide behind others or look for someone to blame. They stand firm, accept responsibility, and focus on finding a way forward. This mindset not only earns respect, but also builds trust. People naturally follow those who act with integrity and accountability. Blame, in contrast, creates division and weakness. It spreads negativity, prevents teamwork, and stops progress. A leader knows that unity and progress come from action, not accusation. When you step into a leadership mindset, you stop asking who's at fault and start asking what can we do next. Leadership also requires resilience, the ability to move forward despite failure or criticism. Those who lead must often make difficult decisions that others avoid. They face pressure, doubt, and resistance, yet they keep moving because they believe in the bigger picture. Followers may complain about how hard things are, but leaders transform hardship into motivation. They inspire others not by words, but by example. Every time a leader chooses action over blame, they set a standard of courage and responsibility for others to follow. Their actions become a ripple effect, pushing those around them to rise above excuses and take control of their own lives. In every area of life, work, relationships, or personal growth, leaders stand out because they take initiative. They don't wait for perfect circumstances or permission. They create opportunities through action. While followers remain stuck in the cycle of if only and what if, leaders focus on what now. That's what makes them different. They see problems as challenges to overcome, not reasons to give up. Ubara is Abeta. The world moves forward because of people who act, not because of those who complain. Every act of leadership, no matter how small, begins with a simple choice to take responsibility when others refuse to. Every moment you live today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Your habits, choices, and actions create the foundation of your future. Many people dream of success, happiness, and growth, but they fail to realize that those dreams are built from the decisions they make right now. The future doesn't suddenly appear. It's designed by the actions you take every single day. Every effort you make, every risk you take, and every challenge you face today determines what opportunities will open for you tomorrow. Waiting for the perfect time only delays the progress that could already be happening. The truth is, the power to change your life has always been in your hands, hidden within your daily actions. It's easy to talk about what we want, but far more powerful to act on it. Dreams without action are just wishes, and wishes don't build futures, effort does. Every day presents a new chance to take one small step toward your goals. Whether it's learning something new, staying disciplined, or improving yourself, these choices compound over time. Consistency, not intensity, is what builds lasting success. When you act with purpose each day, you gradually construct the version of yourself that's ready for the life you envision. The smallest action taken today can set in motion a chain of events that transforms your entire future. Many people underestimate how powerful their present actions truly are. They think that one missed day won't matter or that small steps don't count. But every choice either brings you closer to your goals or pushes you further away from them. The future rewards those who stay committed even when the results aren't immediate. Patience and persistence are the true builders of destiny. You may not see the progress right away, but every moment of effort adds up, shaping your character, discipline, and resilience. Every time you choose action over procrastination, you prove to yourself that you are in control. Not your excuses, not your circumstances, but you. The future doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who work. Every day is an opportunity to plant seeds for what you want to grow later. If you want success, act like it. If you want strength, practice it. If you want change, start it. The decisions you make right now define who you'll be months and years from now. Life doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to effort, discipline, and consistency. Your future self is watching the choices you make today. And one day, that version of you will either thank you for taking action or wish you had started sooner. In the end, life is not defined by the moments we spend blaming others or waiting for change. It's defined by the actions we take to create that change ourselves. Every time you choose to act instead of complain, you take a step closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. Blame keeps you stuck in the past, but action moves you toward the future. Remember, no one else can live your life for you. Your growth, your success, and your happiness depend on what you do, not what you say. So take control, rise up, and keep moving forward with purpose.